I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. I want to raise the question, is Donald Trump, while he is a trigger of the tribulation, but has he ascended to a new title? Is Tribulation Trump the new, well, not the new, but the political Jim Jones? Now, if you don't know who Jim Jones was, he was a very charismatic California preacher, I think it was Oakland, who ran the People's Church there and amassed a lot of people, mainly doing a lot of good works in that region, in that area of California, and fell upon some issues, local political issues, but he had put together a pretty strong 1,000-member congregation, and he moved from Oakland to Guyana in South America, and purchased a large swath of land there, which wouldn't cost him very much, in Guyana, and set up the People's Church there in Guyana. And all the people from Oakland moved down there. Over 900 people moved down to Guyana with him. And he was there for a while. His political problems followed him. And some of the politicians, I think Congressman Ryan and some others, went down to Guyana because all the people were funneling all their money into Jim Jones' ministry there. And they went down, I think, either to arrest him. I'm not sure about the details now. This is going back about 3 or 4 decades ago, maybe 4 decades ago, maybe as much as 40 years, 30, 40 years ago. At any rate, Jim Jones, who, of course, was very charismatic, very charming as an individual, and most of his members were Hamites or black people, though he himself was Japheth or part of the Native American. I'm not sure exactly what his entire bloodline was. The long of it is that once the California authorities made an attempt to bring him back to America to stand trial on charges, I think that's what it was. I want to get clear about that he ordered his 900 followers and members there in Jonestown, Guyana, to drink a Kool-Aid mixed with very, very powerful poison. Now, all of them knew that the Kool-Aid had poison in it. Everybody knew. And he convinced the people, and the people were willing to drink the Kool-Aid. And they all died in one mass hour there in Jonestown, Guyana. And it befuddled people. It befuddled the preachers. It befuddled the religious institutions. It befuddled the politicians. That why was Jim Jones able to get people to follow him? Like, what was it about? Why did they do that? And then why are they willing to die? Were they willing to die for him? And not they're willing to die for him, but mothers fed that poison to their children. Fathers fed it to their sons. And couples fed it to one another, and they all drank that poison down there in Jonestown, and they all died. The question that the world is still waiting an answer for, why did they do that for Jim Jones? But I don't want to know the answer. What I want to know, why is it that the evangelicals and the Japheth are drinking the poison Kool-Aid for what I consider the political Jim Jones and Donald John Tribulation Trump? It's the same thing. It's just only Trump's power and influence and crowd is much larger than Jim Jones, but the character of what's going on is the exact same. Trump is the new political Jim Jones, and the people are willing to go to bat, willing to die, willing to drink the Kool-Aid. So my question, of course, as I stated a few moments ago earlier, is Trump the new, not the new, but is Trump the political Jim Jones? Because everybody trying to figure out, now listen, I understand. I understand. And, both of them, one hair goes one way, the other hair go the other way. But these two men will remain an enigma. And a lot of people also, Jim Jones was a servant of the devil. Leave that picture there, Mr. Engineer. Jim Jones was a servant of the devil, and everybody knows that. There's nothing secretive about that. The other thing is Jim Jones was a criminal. And that's why he moved from Oakland to Jonestown, Guyana in South America. Well, Trump is a criminal too, and has been one for a very long time. Jim Jones was able to amass a lot of property, a lot of money in California, and then had to leave it when the criminal charges and looked like he was getting ready to go to jail. He flew the coop. Well, Trump has amassed a lot of money as well, and he's a criminal, and he's got a whole lot of charges hanging over his head, and will be going to jail pretty soon as well. So to avoid going to jail, Jim Jones took off, and I'm already repeating myself now, but Jim Jones took off for Guyana, and the people followed him. What's going to happen with Trump when he gets ready to go to jail? Of course he's going to go. Everybody knows he's going to go. Will the people drink the Kool-Aid? Will the MAGA people drink the Kool-Aid? Everybody, I'm not just doing this simply because, there's nothing else on the news block today to cover. This is serious business about these two men. They're enigmas. They're followers. And everybody knew that Jim Jones all the followers of Jim Jones knew that he was a hustler. Everybody knew that. Everybody knew he was a servant of Satan. Everybody knew that. Everybody knows that Trump is a servant of Satan. I've already told them if they want to listen. He's the trigger of the tribulation. But yet, this is what's going on in our world today. So I guess, as much as time changes, it remains the same. And but Trump is the political Jim Jones. No, he is. There ain't no doubt about it. That's who he is. And ultimately, the people will drink the Kool-Aid, and they'll all demise together. And it's important for us to have some sense of history on this entire matter of where we are at present. But Trump is the trigger of the tribulation. Now, the other thing I want to say about this is that if the world acknowledged two things that media are afraid to say is that we're in the tribulation. One is that because they don't realize that we are, because if they did, they would repent and try to get right with God. They don't realize that we are in the tribulation. But the other thing is that I'm sure that in the newsrooms, which never makes it to the television reporter, to the cameras, or to the news desk in the newspapers, that they've raised the same question about Jim Jones and about Trump, because they can't figure him out. They can't figure him out. And the other thing is that all of Trump's supporters, every last one of them know three things. One is that Trump didn't lose the election. Two, that Trump is a liar. And three, that he ain't what he says he is. Anyway, or that he's potentially judged. They all know that. Listen, don't let these people tell you, and when they appear on these television cameras and these news interviews and these posters, don't you let them tell you that that they believe that the election was stolen. They know better. They know better. But the thing of it is that that is a lie that they're selling. That's that's the Kool-Aid that they're drinking. And right now, that's the flavor of the last couple of years for Trump. The election was stolen. But the third thing I shared that because I forgot about what I was going to say. The third thing is this: if the election was stolen from Trump, then he'd be the laughing stock of the world. To let somebody as old as Joe Biden is, and I'm not against old people, by the way. I'm not against Joe Biden being old. I don't know why I'm saying that. But if they knew that Trump was that the election was stolen from Trump, then they certainly would not be following him, because anybody who lets somebody steal your election can't put him back in office again. He'll let the same thing happen again.